All right, it's day 16. It's 1:41 in the morning. Today we left this morning in Indiana at the truck stop. We finally started walking out of there at 6 o'clock in the morning. We got picked up by this nurse named Randy, I believe was her name. She wouldn't let us record her because she was in uniform, which I understand. She took us to, I think it was Monticello, Indiana. And then when we were in Monticello, it was raining, and Scott was complaining about his foot, so I decided to check out his foot, look at it. That's when we discovered the blisters and the bites. So we went to the hospital, got that checked out. Wasn't a spider bite. They busted the blister, put some antibiotics on it. We left from there. We were able to see a greenhouse. We caught a radio station that we were able to interview the DJ. He gave us a little tour of it, and he's also the owner, a family radio station. From there, we got picked up by another gentleman. I believe his name was Wyatt. He took us to Peru. Is that where he took us?
Yeah.
I think he took us to... No, he didn't take us to Peru first. He took us somewhere. Scott and I had McDonald's, and we started hitchhiking again. And then Wyatt came back again, and he saw us. He had picked up his friend. He was going mudding, and him and his friend took us to Peru. Then we hitchhiked out of Peru. Can't remember where we went. Got picked up by somebody else. Can't remember who that was at this point either. Then we got picked up by a gunnery sergeant that was somewhere south of Huntington. He took us through Huntington, dropped us off. We walked all the way through Huntington, got picked up by somebody. Do you remember?
Not really.
We got a handful of rides. Then this gentleman, I believe his name was Chris. Is that his name? The guy from the Air Force?
Yeah.
Got picked up by a guy from the Air Force. He gave us a ride. Then when we were out of Huntington, got picked up by a guy named Jeremy. Got picked up by a girl named Colleen. When Colleen picked us up, she dropped us off on the 224 where there was no stop signs or anywhere, so we had to keep walking. We were trying to walk to Decatur. Finally made it to like 2 miles before Decatur, and I saw this gentleman in his car at a stop sign area. I had asked him if he could give us a ride to Decatur, explain the Scott's foot. He was like, no, I can't do it. I'm going the opposite direction. I was like, please, I'll give you gas money, man. Let me just take us. He's like, nope, just 4.5 miles, go up the road. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this guy did this. Well, then a few minutes later, his twin brother, Jeremy, came. The guy who was going the wrong way called his brother and was like, hey, I want you to take these boys, pick them up, get them to Decatur. Well, Jeremy took us to somewhere in Van Wert, dropped us off. I just remember we were on 224 in a flashing light. I was talking to my cousin Beetle. Her and her husband were talking. Then my cousin Ross and his son are going to come all the way up here to pick us up. Told us to get to the 30, walk down the 30. They're going to come up the 30, and they'll pick us up. Well, as Scott and I were walking down the 30, the cop pulled up behind us. And then he'd come out, and I instantly pull out my IDs to give him my IDs. He told us, you can't be walking down the 30. It's a 4-lane highway. Nobody can see you at night, blah, blah, blah. But then he said that somebody had seen us, and that's why they called it in. Then the K-9 unit came. Since Scott and I were perfectly legal, no warrants, etc., they said that they were just going to take us back to Van Wert. Is that where we are? Back to Van Wert at a McDonald's to wait for my cousin. But the funny thing is, Scott and I, man, we are so delirious, we couldn't stop giggling and stuff. Like, I was trying to explain to the cop that, hey, man, I explained our whole trip, how we left Ohio, we went to Ohio, went through Indiana, went to Illinois, old Route 66, all that jazz, ended up in Bardstown, Las Vegas, and the cops are looking at us like this. I'm like, seriously, man, we're on YouTube. Scott's saying something, we're like just both talking at the same time, and then we started giggling, and I'm like, look, man, we're not on drugs, we're not drunk, we're just tired. I explained how we were at this truck stop all day. The night before we had slept for a couple hours. The night before we were in Peoria. And they ended up putting us in the back of a cruiser. And then we laughed some more because the whole joke was, the whole time when we left, my cousin, her son said, watch, they're going to end up in the back of a cruiser. So we're on our final night trying to get home, and we ended up in the back of the cruiser. but they dropped us back off in Van Werton at a McDonald's. So we're now at exit 127 off of the 30, waiting for our final ride home. They should be here in about 45 minutes. But it was. I kept telling the cops, I was like, look me up on YouTube, watch my videos, watch this, watch that. So here we are. We're just waiting for that final ride. We're day 16. If we can make it home by 5 o'clock in the morning, we made it under 16 days in like 23 hours, or 15 days and 23 hours. I don't remember how it is. I think tomorrow at 5 a.m. it'll be 17. We'll have completed a full 16 days. But we're tired. Scott's feet hurt. His left foot hurts. Is killing him. His right knee is the back is really hurting him really bad. He could hardly walk. My leg is killing me. My feet is killing me. I mean, it's been an exciting trip, but it's going to be exciting to get home, take a shower, sleep in their own bed. I mean, hey, it's going to be fun. But hey, it's been a fun trip. I appreciate everybody watching. I'm going to make one more final video once we finally get home. We'll do that from our front porch. But I just wanted to recap where we were, and it was quite interesting that we finally got to ride in the back of a cruiser with the cage, and then they had to let us out. You couldn't open the doors and all that, but they didn't arrest us, didn't give us a ticket or anything, so we appreciate that. So again, thank you for everybody that's been watching us. Thank you everybody for all the rides we've gotten so far, and we'll do a final recap when we get home. So thank you.